Hey guys, it's Des, and today we're going to review 6 types of cheese that you've probably never heard of. Oh, wait a minute, I think I mixed it up again. Are we doing that stupid, it's that Double Masters thing? Okay, well let's jump in with Eternal Witness. So this is an uncommon, and I'm mostly featuring the rares and mythics in this set, but in Ultimate Masters this was printed at mythic. It was also printed at rare, it's been printed at uncommon. This card got a little weird, but even the lowest one that I'm seeing right now is about $4. So next up, pull from tomorrow. This card was a mistake, and they should have just called this Mistake Masters. In fact, that's probably what I'm going to put in the thumbnail. It's not quite like Treasure Cruise and, what is that, Dig Through Time or whatever, but it's close. Believe it or not, this is a sub $1 card though, so like it really just kind of annoyed people in Standard, and that was about it. Next up is Grim Flayer. This is only ever printed in Eldritch Moon, and it's sitting at $5 because it was a mythic in that set, and it's actually not bad. And then he does have Delirium, which never really took off, but I could see people still playing this. Next up, an artist's interpretation of all of your money going down the drain trying to buy this card. So the cheapest mana drain out right now, not including this one, which is a $40 pre-order, so boy, that got down there, is Commander Legends 55 and Iconic Masters 60. So still a pretty good value card, but there are actually a couple higher ones. Next up, Imperial Archangel. This is a Shards of Alara card that has never been reprinted, so that's kind of cool, but it's still only $2.79, fallen to $2 with the pre-order now. But still, anytime it has been printed in that long, I'll take it. Someone somewhere probably wants it, and right now, just looking at the vendor I'm looking at, there are 3 in stock, and that is it. Next up, Dark Steel Plate. Now, this is actually pretty expensive. It's from Mirrored and Besieged, and then it was in a Elves vs. Inventors dual deck. And that's it. So pre-ordering at $10, looks like all the pre-orders have been sold. Dang. And the Mirrodin one is $15. I don't really like any Dark Steel cards. I think they're all almost universally OP, but whatever. And well, this one's a 3-drop equip 2, grants indestructible. And the plate itself is indestructible. Next up, we've got Force of Negation. It's kind of like Pact of Negation, except it's not. It's also not Force of Will, so this abomination was originally in Modern Horizons 1, and the current version of that sitting around is $55. This one only dropped it to $45, but it's interesting. So it's 3-cost double blue, so it's basically cancel, but if it's not your turn, you may exile a blue card from your hand rather than pay this spell's mana cost. Counter target non-creature spell only. Really? If that spell is countered this way, exile it instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard. So not even like a good card, but the faster you're playing, the better it is. It's a free counter spell, and people playing Vintage and Legacy, shocker, are not going to try to beat you by summoning a creature and swinging at you with it. So okay, it's less degenerate than the, oh, well, pay 5 mana at your next upkeep. That'll never happen, otherwise you lose the game. So, Pact of Negation, yeah, never been a fan of that either. It just doesn't feel like Magic, it feels like a mistake. But I think I've said the same thing about Vintage and Legacy. So, I hate this. Next up, Ashen Rider. Nothing too special here. It's a card from Theros. Nobody played it back then either because it costs 8 and it's not that good. The mana cost of 8 mixed with those colors mean it's beyond useless for draft. I don't get why they printed this other than, oh, well, it's been a while, but also nobody wants it. Next up, Surgical Extraction. Oh my gosh, when I first started my channel, I kept mentioning, how was this card only like, what was it, like $2, $3? And then finally it caught on, and it only caught on after being printed in New Freaking Phyrexia when they put it in MM2 in 2015. So that was the Modern Masters 2. And even when that came out, it was like, oh, it's not that much money, so I held on to some. And then a little bit later, I kept about 75% of them. I think I might have actually doubled down on buying some back. I think I sold them day 1 and then bought them back like 2 weeks later and then sold them like a year later. So this card is currently sitting at $21. So you could guess who was right there. Death Mantle, this is Scars Mirrodin, and that's it. So this, boy, this is like needed reprints, but not really because they're not that expensive masters. So that original version is $11, probably because it's just so darn old. But yeah, the Double Masters won $7. Okay. Next up, Disciple of the Ring. This card never was that great. It was in Magic Origins, one of the best sets ever created. Still 79 cents, and now it fell to 35. Ouch. I mean, it's a recurring counterspell on a stick, but you've got to have instant and sorcery spells in your graveyard, and it costs 5. And it's only a 3/4. If this costs 4, I bet this would be a $20 card. It's just a little bit over. Next up, everybody's favorite spaghetti mushroom, Emrakul, the Aeon's Torn. So alternate art, which is what you're looking at, 130 bucks is what they're asking. Hello, the ultimate box topper Borderless was still 110 bucks. Jeez. There's a promotional version that looks amazing, only 85. Oh, actually, condition, it's 100. They only have one in stock where I'm looking at. It's excellent condition, not near mint. Oh, that top price variant was some kind of special textured something or whatever. I don't know. Well, they go on down, but basically, if you want the Rise of the Eldrazi version, it's actually only about 45 bucks. That's not insane. This was an Ultimate Masters, that's 40, and this one right here, just the basic, well, not this one that you're looking at, the like reprint original art is 25 bucks. And yeah, this is the, okay, I'm going to summon it, I'm going to cheat it into play thing, because it's one of the best, most useful, crazy creatures. Annihilator 6, when you attack, they have to sack 6 permanents. That's what that does. I mean, the protection that cannot be countered, I mean, this thing is insane. I'm glad Emrakul decided to willingly let herself get trapped in the moon so that she could brood over her feelings and act emo or whatever and listen to My Chemical Romance while chowing down on moon cheese, and then I assume she has to shed those COVID pounds before she comes out and just wrecks the living crap out of everything once again. Honestly, Innistrad had it coming. Next up, Forbidden Orchard. Now this is an interesting card. It taps for any color and comes in untapped, but whenever you tap it for mana, target opponent creates a 1/1 colorless spirit creature token. How this is possibly a $21 card is beyond me, but whatever. Somebody must do something with Degenerate with it. I guess it's not beyond me. That actually almost definitely is the answer without me researching it for 2 seconds. But yeah, maybe there's some times where you would want your opponent to have tokens and some kind of death trigger or... I don't know, this seems silly to me, but this art right here, the one you're looking at, $50 frickin' dollars. Otherwise, the regular version reprint pre-ordering for $15. Dang. Next up, we got Wasatora, Nekoro Queen. So this was a Commander 2017 card. It was in the mystery booster / the list, but so was everything else. Still not very popular. Original's $5. They're only asking $1 for this one. Ouch. Next up, Thraxamundar, one of my friend's favorite cards. I hate this thing. Apparently so does the community because this version is 99 cents. So what this luckily overcosted 7-cost zombie assassin legendary creature does is 6/6 haste, and whenever it attacks, defending player sacks a creature. That's annoying. Whenever a player sacrifices a creature, I can't imagine when that might happen, you may put a 1/1 counter on Thraxamundar. And then somebody did something with this where, like, I doubt they took like infinite combats, but they, I don't know, you know who you are, okay? I think you still watch this chat. You know damn well what you built. I don't remember, but shame on you. It was really annoying. Next up, Animar, Soul of Elements. Oh boy, this guy's a little pricey actually. Original Commander, $11. It was in Masters 25. That brought it down to about 9, or at least that's what it's currently sitting at. And then this version they're asking $8 for. He's pretty wild. I just don't think that, you know, being a 1/1 in those exact colors that he's that popular. But yeah, legendary creature elemental, 3 cost, and protection from white and from black. That's huge. And then whenever you cast a creature spell, put a 1/1 counter on Animar Soul of Elements, and the creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each 1/1 counter on Animar. Yeah. Play that in a counters deck. Holy cow. Next up, Greater Gargadon. Yep, they decided to put these in another language just to piss everybody off. So Suspend 10. Suspend was the most, like, I'm not going to actually wait that number of turns, haha, I'm going to cheat it in anyway, kind of things. Just disastrous. I'm sure they thought it was terribly interesting in this big, like, you know, weighing the pros versus the cons and can I last that long and will the timing be good enough and all this, ooh, cognitive, I'm going to outplay my opponent. And then it just turned out to be just unfair because it went too hard on it, let you remove the counters. But yeah, this 9/7 for 10 has Suspend 10. So... that'll happen. Gee, I wonder why it's 35 cents. You could just summon Emrakul if you're going to cheat something in. Well, in the bottom part it says, sacrifice an artifact, creature, or land. Remove a time counter from Greater Gargadon. Activate this ability only if Greater Gargadon is suspended. So you can get this going, but you're going to lose your entire army, and all you get out of it is a 9/7 without haste and without hexproof. Next up, Figure of Holy Crap, Kithkin are ugly. Anyway, Destiny. 35 cents. Yeehaw. Next up, Bedlam Reveler. This is another 35-cent card. Oh boy, but they did put it in the rare slot. Couldn't even really get 99 cents, it looks like, for the Time Spiral Remastered fake old frame. They should just call it Revisionist History Counterfeit Series. That's pretty much what I mentally call it. But the nostalgia bait people fell for it and bought it, so, you know, hey, if that's you, whatever. I didn't play back then, so I can tell you the font looks terrible. So next up, interesting card here. It's Rafik of the Many. Shards of Alara, $10. Hey, he wasn't from the Vault Legends. Somehow that's under $10. Okay. And this is the whole whenever a creature attacks alone thing. They've been doing that a lot longer than you may have thought. So for some reason, he was in the Streets of New Capenna art series. I don't know how, I don't know why. Next up, we've got one of the biggest mistakes in recent history, Hydroid Crisis. That deck, the ramp that led into it, the untapping of lands, this card itself, across the board an absolute disgrace, and I think this is in 7 of my decks. I think I only built 7 decks. When you cast this spell, you gain half X life and draw half X cards, round down each time, then ramp and gain more life. And get more counter spells, you jackass. Flying Trample, because that's a fun combo, and then it enters battlefield with X11 counters on it. So, just spend your mana to get more cards, to get more mana, to get more cards. Yeah, what were they thinking? And they never banned it. To this day, this card is still $12, but the pre-order is going for $6. Next up, Conqueror's Flail. This was from Commander 2016, and that is it, which means it's sitting at $22. I don't have a pre-order price for this, but let's just read it. So it's a 2-drop equipment artifact, an equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each color among permanents you control. Okay. And as long as Conqueror's Flail is attached to a creature, your opponents can't cast spells during your turn. Equip 2. Oh, that is powerful. I'd put that in any commander deck. That's a damn good card. That needed to be reprinted. Next up, Planar Bridge. Is this just cards that should have been banned masters? Is that what we're doing again? I think for April Fools, like 6-7 years ago or something, I did a fake announcement for From the Vault Oops edition. Or maybe it was Secret Lair Oops. Honestly, I think I did both. It was all cards that have been banned and like were a mistake. They made a typo on it. I think I threw a hostage taker in there. It was the most like, why did you take this long to ban these cards? The cards where people are still astonished that they never banned them. And I guess they took that idea and made it into a real thing. So this absolute disgrace is $5 right now. Oh boy. At least you have to pay 8. Is it really free casting if you pay 8? The answer is Emrakul. Next up, it's Carador, Ghost Chieftain. Yeah, he was from Original Commander. You'd think he'd be more expensive, but they're printing all the garbage commanders from back then. $3.50. Oh boy. So for that obnoxious amount of mana, although he does cost 1 colorless less, or 1 generic less, to cast for each creature card in your graveyard, okay, and then during each of your turns, you may cast 1 creature card from your graveyard. Okay, still overcosted though. Next up, Dauntless Escort. We're really running out of money cards, but they keep throwing a couple in, so hey, the more the merrier. This is an Alara Reborn card, also Commander 2016. Both are sitting at $1.50. You sack them, all creatures are indestructible this turn. For 3 mana, that probably is the cheapest way to do that in the game. Oh, actually, well, mono white. Okay. And that would be instant speed. This, they would see it coming. Yeah, I could see why this isn't that good. Next up, Aurelia's back, the War Leader. This is from Gatecrash. Hello. And yeah, $25. These spoilers are too new, and I think it was like over the weekend or something. I don't know. Oh no, it was Monday night. But anyway, they haven't updated with pre-order prices yet, anywhere that I can see. So I don't have a new price, but I just don't think this is that good. I mean, it's double white, double red, double generic. Jeez, that's hard to get out. Flying Vigilance Haste, and whenever it attacks for the first time each turn, untap all creatures and then take another combat phase, which is annoying. Plus, I mean, Flying Vigilance and Haste on top of that effect, yeah, just pure annoyingness, while also only hitting for 3. I think there are ways in Amonkhet you can do this more effectively, cheaper and faster. Still, Angels are cool, except for right now when they're running standard. So next up, Villainous Wealth from Khans of Tarkir, everybody's favorite set. Oh boy, 79-cent card. Who cares what it does? Let's move on. I hate that set. Next up, Guided Package. This was from Apocalypse. That was a while ago. Still 59 cents though, because it's 3-color sorcery and reveal the cards in your library, all of them. An opponent chooses from among them a creature card, a land card, and a non-creature non-land card. You put the chosen cards into your hand, then shuffle. Yeah, you could rig this with one of them only having 1, but I mean, if you're gonna tutor something, just do it yourself. I was thinking all land, but then how would you draw this? You know, so this just isn't a good card. But then we got a Lane to the Dusk Rose. Hello. She's still, I mean, this one right here, 15 bucks. This card has always been bonkers. It did take a little while after Rivals of Ixalan came out for people to appreciate this card, though. I remember it being really low until people realized, I don't know what the card says. Like, and now it's 21 bucks. The old version of it is / was. So, yeah, really, really, really powerful card here. The ways to deal with her are narrow, and if you make her your commander, watch out. I'm thinking about swapping out Eileen in my commander deck with Elenda. Next up, Drogskull Reaver from Dark Ascension, and that is a $20 card, and it was a mythic. Now they've downshifted it to rare, though, so that's huge. I like that they did that. So, Flying Double Strike Lifelink, whenever you gain life, draw a card. Yeah. I mean, it costs 7, and those aren't exactly ramp colors, but dang, this thing's powerful. Next up, Yahenni Undying Partisan. It's an Aether Revolt card, another disaster of a set, complete and utter energy train wreck. Everybody hated it. And $8.50. It's just a black free unlimited sack outlet for 0 mana, 0 tapping, and it's recurring. And he saves himself. I mean, this is a damn good card. Next up, Rurik Thar the Unbowed. This was in Masters 25, reprinted from Dragon's Maze. Still, nobody really cares. Not that great of a card, I guess. And yeah, it's currently pre-ordering for 49 cents. It is pretty funny, though, that it says whenever a player casts a non-creature spell, a player, Rurik Thar deals 6 damage to that player, but if you can grant him lifelink, you could, like, gain life off of it to heal yourself. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a use of this, and I'm going to say they kind of crowdsourced it given that price, and people came up with nothing. Next up, coming straight out of a creepy PlayStation ad, we've got Child of Alara. It just looks like something they would do. So the storyline of Alara is pretty cool. I'm not that familiar, but I know they had the Sundering, where an unknown planeswalker, I could have sworn it was Nicobolas. Actually, I think he caused the conflux. Anyway, they drained all the mana from the plane, which just split it into 5 shards, the Shards of Alara. So naturally, that took place in the set called Homelands, just kidding, Shards of Alara. But then the conflux happened, you'll never guess what that set name was, and then we had Alara Reborn, and of course that set was called Pokemon Fossil. The forces of Esper invaded the other shards, because of course they did, because Esper's awful, and then soon after, they evolved into Meowstic. So Nicobolas showed up and he's like, ooh, the Maelstrom, which was like the big storm between the shards. And he was like, I could use that as a battery. And then Nicobolas, I don't know, kicked him in the nuts or something and he left. And that has been your short yet 100% accurate telling of the lore of Alara. So how does all that tie into the Child of Alara? I have absolutely no idea, and 5 seconds of Googling didn't tell me either. You're welcome. So this creepy looking newborn with a funny looking head, so in other words, every newborn, comes into play if you pay all 5 mana, legendary creature avatar with trample 6/6, and when it dies, destroy all non-land permanents. They can't be regenerated. So slightly less destructive than the average child NPC in Skyrim. You accidentally attack one of them, you might as well just start the game over. And that is the last card for today. We've got a bunch of spicy money cards still coming, I'm sure. And by I'm sure, I mean, well, there's like maybe a 50-50 chance. I think we've got about 100 spoilers left. There might be some rares or mythics left. Maybe. But yeah, this is probably going to be the most valuable Masters set ever. So that'll be kind of neat. I probably still won't buy it because I'm sure the price will be insane. Actually, what the hell? It's coming out in a couple weeks. Let's look up a pre-order right now. Ah, thanks eBay. I typed in Double Masters 2 sealed and got Hip Hop Double Feature Notorious B.I.G/Jam Master J 2X DVD brand new sealed. That is exactly what I was looking for and I didn't even know it. Also, $3.99 plus $4 shipping, that ain't bad. Okay, I filtered it a bit. Somebody is selling a collector's booster box for $237.88. Holy crap. It ships July 22nd. I actually thought it came out a couple weeks earlier than that. I guess not. It's from Flipside, so, I mean, that's respectable. They got 102,000 feedback. I think you can trust them at this point. That's almost exactly what I thought. Just under 20 bucks a pack. But that's a collector's booster, but remember, people who buy like 1 card every 3 months for their commander deck or just upgrade it to foil it out or want cool looking artwork, they're gonna want, and they're gonna represent all the demand for the really rare borderless trims and all that stuff. So if you're gonna open it for money, first of all, probably don't. You might be able to maybe scratch by 10-20% it looks like on this, just kind of ballparking it. There is something a little suspect with this though. They wrote absolutely no description, but they filled in a bunch of the, like, mandatory fields. Number of boxes, 4. What? Number of cards, 60. Where did they get either of those numbers? What does that even mean? I mean, it's obviously higher than that. What's in every collector's booster? 15? 15 times 12? That's not 60. And you ain't sending 4 boxes. If you're sending 4 packs for 200, I think somebody just made a typo. But why would you rush something where, well, spoiler alert, over 100 sold. So this is like, at this time, over a $27,000 order, and they couldn't bother to get the details right or write one sentence as a description. Huh. Well, good luck with that, guys. So anyway, I typed in the actual correct search term, which is Double Masters 2022, even though it's called 2x2. That is the set symbol, or the set acronym. I forget, what do they call it? And yeah, you can get a normal booster box. Looks like just under 300 bucks. Okay. I remember these are boxes of, I believe, 24. I couldn't confirm that because a lot of the product details are not in the photo and stuff, but every Masters I've ever seen is a short box. Double Masters 1 was, and by the way, those are going for like $7.90. Holy crap. And those had a box topper, but still, I don't see it. I don't think you'd get that price out of it. But assuming I'm right about it being 24, that's $12.31 a pack. That is very reasonable. So you go pick that up on, you know, eBay or wherever. eBay is going to really go hard if you get ripped off. Like if the price doubles the day before or whatever and they start canceling pre-orders, they will crack down on these people so hard. But just short of 300 bucks a box, that ain't no joke, okay? That is an expensive frickin' product. But if you could walk into, you know, an average gaming store and get it for 13, 14, 15 bucks US, yeah, okay. I mean, I still wouldn't buy any. I hate Wizards of the Coast, but to each their own. If you're just opening it to flip the singles or you want to open, you know, 1,000 packs to try to liquidate them, do consider, you know, shipping cost, future shipping cost, the cost of envelopes, labor, your time, the printer, the scissors, the little insert things to put the label on the packages. You can do tracked plain white envelopes on eBay now. It's like $1. That's kind of neat, but I still don't trust them. You still need a top loader. Those are still a little bit hard to come by. Yeah, there's always intangibles. You usually end up losing money, just saying. Now that said, oh my gosh, the last Masters set I got before I closed my shop, I made several $1,000s on that profit. A lot of them I sold locally because the other shop sold out. Just sealed, didn't even have to crack them. You know what? I will buy a box of Double Masters when it comes out, subject to availability, but I shouldn't have a problem. If this video gets, let's see, I was going to say 2,022 likes, but I feel like that's impossible. 250 likes, you do it, I'll buy it. And I will crack that thing on live stream. And we'll see if we make a profit. My history on live stream cracks. Jeez, like I got a foil Tarmogoyf. I think we got like the 2 most expensive cards in the set in the same booster one time. It was like a foil or a borderless Karn and like a foil something else. It was wild. I have pulled $400 cards live on stream. I don't know what it is with me and luck, but after that foil Tarmogoyf, oh baby. So I'd love to do it, but I'm only going to do it if I get the support and interest of you guys. Otherwise, I ain't risking the money. I'm only doing it for you guys because you're awesome. Speaking of awesome, holy crap, is my inbox blowing up with the confirmed affiliate sales from the first spoiler video sponsors. So appreciate everybody purchasing from that vendor. I'm not going to say their name again because then I have to mark it as a sponsored video, and I think that suppresses it. But you guys are awesome, and some of you are going to be looking really sharp. So thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you guys next spoiler video.